Well guys, I got another bicycle video for you. This video is of a SPORTEK brand. Model name is Raven. It's a 21 speed bike. It's got front suspension fork and what's left of what they call micro shift or indexed shifting. They don't seem to function. They're kind of broken, seized. Pretty much right off the bat, first thing you're going to notice on this bike is it's missing the wheels. So yeah, of course, me being me, I've got a small collection of parts in storage, so I scrounged around and I found me a decent set of 24-inch rims, and they are a 21 speed rim, and as well as a set of tires and tubes, which again are decent. They've held air for probably the last 6 months, so you know, they hadn't gone flat all winter. So yeah, I'll be probably throwing those rims onto this frame. Now, pretty much like I said, the first thing you notice here after the wheels is the whole handlebar setup is pretty much messed over. You have your brake levers, which are semi-okay still, but your shifters, your shift levers, your index shifting is pretty much no good. You know, this side works. This side here sort of works, but the little indicators here are broken, so probably end up swapping them out. Now, of course, if you didn't have parts, that would be a critical thing on this bicycle to determine the factor against fixing it or not. If having to put a, you know, whatever it would be, $30 set of shift levers into it. So, but I'll go check out my collection of parts here, and I'll see what I have for handlebar assemblies. Well guys, I found me a set of handlebars here. They are a Falcon brand of twist shift, so they're not a high-end brand. The bars do have some scuffs and scratches in them, but the steer tube, or the stem size, does look the same as the one that's in it, so it should just be a direct bolt, and the cables look like they're roughly the same length as well, so they should be pretty much a direct bolt as well. So pretty much the first thing you're going to want to do to change all that out is to undo all these little you know, nuts and bolts and all that good stuff that hold the cables to the brakes, to the shifting. So yeah, pretty much you just undo the bolt, and on this style of system, the cable just falls right out. You know, same with the back brakes here. It's the same as the front. You undo the bolt, and the cable just pretty much just falls right out, just like that. And same with the old derailleur. The derailleur takes a hex nut, so you know, we'll have to switch that out. And same with the front derailleur as well. It takes a hex nut, so of course that does require another tool. So same deal with that one. You undo the nut, just like that, and the cable goes slack. And the back one as well. You undo the nut, and the only thing with the back one here, you may need to cut the cable, the little crimper off the cable, because it may not pass through this ferrule here. So yeah, I'll unstring all the cables basically just by pulling them back through the little keepers here, and then I'll check back in. Okay guys, so once you got the cables all strung from the bike there, pretty much all hanging off the front handlebars, take whatever it would be, an Allen wrench or a hex wrench or a socket, whatever type of bolt you have here leading into the stem, And what I like to do is I loosen it off a good 1/4 of an inch, as much as I can, before it falls out. And if the handlebar doesn't come immediately loose, that means that the little wedge inside here has kind of rusted inside the the steer tube, which is no big deal in most cases anyway. So, like I said, you loosen it about a 1/4 of an inch of space there. Take a hammer and give her a bit of a tap. And what that does, most of the time, is breaks that little wedge loose inside of the, steer tube. And if you've done everything correctly, you should be able to lift up on the fork and lift out. Now, if that doesn't work, then yeah, use some force, whether it's a chunk of wood and a hammer, to give pressure to the stem here on the underside to gently force it out. And once it's pretty much forced out, that's what you're left with. That's the threaded end, and then that's that little wedge that pretty much, when the bolt is tightened, the wedge kind of does that inside the steer tube, which is way down there to hold everything in. So yeah, pretty much once you got it out, she's kind of goes in the parts pile. You can choose to save the brake levers off it and the cables if you want, or you can choose just to let her go. And with the new one, it's pretty much the same thing, just a reverse method. What I'll first probably do is shoot a little bit of penetrating oil down here, just to give it a bit of fluid film in there, or a little bit of lube in there, so it doesn't rust again. And then we'll put the bars in. So guys, got the bars all bolted down and everything. I've ran the cables to the down the frame to the derailleurs. They're not adjusted or set anything, they're just kind of set in there just to hold the place. Working on throwing the tires on the rims here. I got the back one all mounted and neared up. I just got to do the same there with the front one, and then and pretty much throw them on the old bike here, and then we're good to go. Then we can start installing the brake cables, as well as doing all the final adjustments on it. But yeah guys, these tires are those fancy aqua tread or aqua whatever you want to call it tires that actually I rode a set of these way back when I was younger, and they're actually quite interesting tires. They do pull the water away from the tire. But guys, I'll throw that tire on the front rim, and then we'll put the rims on the bike. Well guys, got the tires pretty much just set on the bike. The bolts ain't tightened by far yet. The front tire here, pretty much just dropped it into the holes in the fork here where they drop into, and it got the little keeper, of course. And really, you just tighten her down. And then pretty much repeat the same on the other side. Give her a tighten on down. And then you move on to the back rim, and you give that a tighten on down as well, which I've already gone through and done that. So once you've got the rims on the bike, the rims tightened down, then you can begin in setting your shifting. So guys, to adjust the rear derailleur settings, first thing you want to do is make sure she's shifted all the way down into 7th, and then crank the back wheel to see if she's wanting to shift. Now, if she's wanting to shift here at the back wheel, then you got to adjust the high gear screw here to bring it back this way. If she's good and not wanting to shift, then you're pretty much good to go to string the cable through the little ferrule and tighten her up at the nut. And pretty much to do that, you just string her through, make sure she goes through the little keeper, and then you just tighten her on down. Well guys, I got the wheels on, as you've seen. I got the back shifting all adjusted. I got the front shifting all adjusted. And yeah, I even got the brakes all hooked up and working. I had to replace the brake cable, so of course, you know, that's where your stash of parts come in. Kind of, you know, replace on the fly type of deal. I rerouted some of the brake cables, tightened up some of the mess of cables a little. You know, if you wanted to, you could put a zip tie or something just to tidy that up a little more. But, you know, that's the way it is. You know, you don't want your cables too tight. That, you know, when you do like that, they actually start to bind, you know. You want them to be fairly loose because, of course, you know, it's a bike, you're going to wipe out, right? Right now I've got her sprayed down with some degreaser. Going to let her soak for a bit, then give her a hose off, and then give her a once over, and then she's pretty much good to go. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much been a rebuild and a tune-up of a SPORTEK Raven 21 speed 24-inch bicycle. So as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's World. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.